having beautiful photos taken of you can be really, really healing.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people be like, oh my God, I did not know that like my body like could look like that. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Inner Archaeology. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily, and we're so glad you're here and tuning in.
Yeah, we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to say things. You can find
things.
us on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's this really wonderful place sometimes. You can find all of the places that we are on innerarchaeology.com, where we also have some video podcasts. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, on innerarchaeology.tv, because technology is not our friend. And we also have a Patreon where we put juicy episodes, kind of a little after hours bit. And that's patreon.com/innerarchaeology. I was just jumping in. I'm like, listen.
You did a great
job.
job.
Thanks.
I'm supporting this. I also wanted to add that if you enjoy listening to us, if you wanted to like rate and leave like a review about how much you love listening to us,
that would be nice.
That does help us, and it helps it like algorithms and stuff. So yeah, we would appreciate that.
It helps algorithms and stuff. You're so cute. Yeah, it does help. It helps, share us outside of the people who already know us, which is nice.
Yeah,
we like that.
And it makes us feel good. I like reading them. Makes me feel good about myself.
They actually always they always catch me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh, really? One day, I wonder if one day I will like not feel weird about putting things out on the internet and then hearing real people say that they listen to it. Will that ever happen for me? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm always surprised when people say they listen to things I put out. I'm like, oh,
I know. I'm like, really? I know it is weird, but it's like, yes, I'm glad you are, and whoa, you are. Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to talk about a thing that you do today, that I've really come to love, and I don't know. I want to talk about it because I think it's a really interesting thing, and I wish we could do them all the time. And I'm being weird and not saying the thing. I'm just talking about it without saying what it is. So it's like mysterious. Should we just talk about it without
Let's
saying
talk
what it
about
is?
it without saying what it is.
No, listen. Okay, so Emily does this really wonderful thing where actually it's kind of how I met you.
Like
it really
it's
goes
like
as
in the
far
very
back
beginning.
as like something I noticed about you like from the very beginning was like you had a profile on this dating app. It's not even like a dating app. It's like anyway. And you are a very creative person, and you have an eye for like things that like are aesthetically pleasing. And so you do these like photo shoots with people where you take photos of them, and they're like just on your iPhone. Like they're not with like a SLR camera or like lights or anything. It's not like anything fancy, but you have this real gift of taking photos of people, especially people who are like really nervous and uncomfortable. I used to be one of them. Actually, I still kind of am. And just like reflect, like almost like reflecting back to them how I think you see them is what I've realized. And it blows people away. Like people are just like, oh my God, is that me? And it's such a beautiful thing to witness because I've seen you do it with so many people. And it really is a gift because I've tried to do this on my own and it just like does not pan out. And I want to talk about it because I think it's really important because for me, again, having an issue with like not wanting to be the center of attention, not wanting like attention on me or feeling vain or something like that, I had a real resistance to it. And we used to do them, remember? Like when we first met, and I was so uncomfortable with them.
I remember like those early days, like getting all like makeup and dressing up, and you were like, this is so not me. This is so like unlike me. But we like had so much fun doing it. And then it just, it was a thing that was not very intentional. I think it was something I kind of like stumbled into, and then I find myself doing it from time to time, you know? And And more often than not, people are like approaching me, and then I'm kind of like, yeah, let's make a thing of it. But it has like turned into this kind of build up your and it builds up like self-esteem and sense of self-worth, because nothing is worse than like already struggling with maybe feeling critical about how you look or not wanting to be the center of attention, and then you try to take a picture of yourself and it turns out shitty. You're just like, it reinforces all that stuff, and and it can be, actually, I think having beautiful photos taken of you can be really, really healing. Like it can, and because I've seen it, I've seen people be like, oh my God, I did not know that like my body like could look like that or looks like that. Yeah. And it's kind of like, it does. Like, and it just does.
You do it with all different types of people. Like I've seen you, like, it's not, you do it with like any and everyone. And it's so nice. And and I've really come to love to see people like have that reaction and experience. And so I like offer you up. You like come to town and I'm like, my friend Emily's coming and she's so good at like making me feel amazing with pictures of you. Do you want some pictures taken?
And I think there might be something about just doing it on the iPhone that makes it feel less like a photo shoot. It's just more like a friend that's taking some pics for whatever social media or your dating profile. And then I think it lets people like, I don't know, relax maybe a little bit. But I do you remember that photo shoot that we did at the Crow and Quill?
Crow and the Quill?
Way back in the day. Now that we actually had a photographer
eternity ago.
That was an eternity ago. And that was like really early on. And I remember it was me and you and a couple other friends, and we had so much fun. We kind of booked this really cool, like dark,
like bar, but
Edgar
it's like
Allan Poe vibe bar. Yeah. And we booked this like sexy photo shoot, and this like dude who kind of was creepy actually at the end of the day. But we
I missed that. Was he creepy?
Because I had to interact with him. Like outside of because I was the one that got him to come, and then he was like trying to like date me or like go out with me, and I was like, yeah, this is like you're completely breaching.
But when he was doing the photos, I didn't feel
professional.
Like he was creepy.
Yes, he just was like,
I'm
like,
sorry, I didn't know that.
It's whatever. I was just like, stop, and he did so. But that was kind of like the start of like you and I kind of like doing photo shoots together, you know, and then it kind of like morphed and evolved from there. And then I remember we had the sex talk photo shoot. That one was so funny and hilarious.
Yes. Wait, I have to go back to the Crow and the Quill one, because that was like a really big thing for me.
Yeah.
That was like, that like shattered so much stuff. Because I remember that one photo, it's actually on my Instagram if you scroll way down. Where I'm
you
sitting on
that couch. Right? Yes, I know exactly.
Yeah, and I was having such a hard time letting this person take photos of me, and just like resisting it so hard. And I can't remember what he said, but he actually said something that made me feel really comfortable, which is why I'm like bummed he's creepy. He made me like laugh, and he just like caught a moment that was like, I thought really genuine, and it was like one of the first times I saw a like kind of sexy photo of me that I really liked. And I was like, oh, this is like, I like this. And then posting it on Instagram was like a whole experience where I was like,
next
oh my God.
level. Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
I remember that and that photo. And I remember watching you get your photos taken, and that struggle you were going through for like
so struggled
allowing that to happen. But then you kind of like sunk into it and like got into the experience a little bit. And then I remember when you saw that photo, you were just like, holy shit. Like,
I love this photo.
It's amazing. And it was so you, it captured you so well. Like I felt like it was a really like authentic like expression of you.
I've always struggled with like not feeling very photogenic and not feeling like, well, more so like looking at photos of myself and feeling like it doesn't look like me, like it doesn't feel and look like me. And so I've never really liked photos of myself until kind of recently. So that's why for me it's been like a whole shift. But yeah, so then fast forward, then when we were doing our sex talk podcast, which was hilarious, we did this whole photo shoot. That's photo She was so fun.
It was so fun. I came across the photos like a few weeks ago.
Me too. We're laying on like a fur rug, like I think just like in thongs with like a Yeti microphone in between us.
Yes, we were. Oh my God.
Laying on our stomachs, so like with our little feet crossed, and all we have like is heels on a thong, but like you can't see anything. And then we just have like a little mic in front of us, and we're like looking at each other and like laughing.
Oh my God. And then we had like ones, remember we were sitting, but we had our laptops open that were like covering, it looked like we were naked, but it was like covering everything. And
you had like little secretary glasses on.
Oh, that was so fun.
That was so fun. And so and then, like, I don't know, playful and just like, yeah. And then we got like a little risque, and we got that one photo that was like forever my favorite photo of us, I think, where I'm like bent over your lap and you have a little crop.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
And I remember that was like, and I have the glasses on, like I was wearing the secretary glasses for that photo on.
Yes.
And it was just like, I don't know. There was something about that was so fun and playful that one made me feel, I felt more confident in that photo.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it was, I think, because it was like more playful and just like, I don't know. That was hilarious.
That was so funny and so much fun.
It's like one of my favorite photos ever of us, honestly.
I know. We'll have to dig those up. I don't feel like we ever did anything with those photos.
I have like a folder on my phone.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those so much. And I agree. I do feel like, because, you know, I was kind of, that was like, I was right there with you. Those were all
photo
like
got me kicked off Tinder. Sorry. I just had like a memory that exploded out of me.
Oh my God. I love that so
You were like
much.
saying something, but I was like, wait.
You're like, wait.
That was like 6-7 years ago or something, right? And I was like, ooh, I'm using this as like a Tinder pic. Like an idiot, and immediately got banned from Tinder forever, which is fine because I hate online dating. So I've literally been banned from Tinder forever.
Forever.
Do you know that? From that photo. Do you know that?
To go, I guess. I didn't know that. No, I did not know that. Yeah.
No, because it was inappropriate. And I'm like,
it was very inappropriate. How dare you?
It wasn't that. Like, nobody was naked.
No, it wasn't. It was like playful,
just, like,
but
the only kinky, thing that was inappropriate is you were holding a crop.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that's actually, I kind of got like all like, I was like, that's not like crazy. You're literally just holding a crop, and that's it. There's like nothing wrong with that photo, and we're laughing.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we're very serious in that photo.
Are we in that one? Oh
yeah. You are like, you're like really stern.
Oh,
and I'm like looking over the glasses.
Okay. I have to go back and look at
that. I fucking love that photo.
But it was true. I do feel like that one for me also, I was like getting a little bit more comfortable with. And in that whole season of life, I also was working for like a classical realist painter. And so I was like posing for these like beautiful paintings and stuff, which was really fun. It was like in that whole season of life, I was definitely exploring, I think, what I thought about myself and my body. I was like having these experiences being painted or being photographed. And I think I was just trying to like understand myself and like learn to like really love myself, I think. And I think it was like an important process, you know? And and I do, one of my favorite ones was, there was somebody I knew who had come out as non-binary. And
I was hoping you were going to bring this up, because I didn't know if you were, but I was like, this is like one of my favorite like examples of how powerful this is. Anyway, sorry.
And
I got excited.
And it was like I don't know. I can't remember who exactly had the idea, but I remember just being like, I think this is going to be really good for this person to have an experience kind of seeing themselves in a new light as they've been transforming into just their gender fluidity, you know? And so I remember they brought all these beautiful outfits that they hadn't really like worn out in public yet, really. And these outfits expressed all different like shades and spectrums of like gender expression. They were so beautiful.
They were so beautiful.
Yeah. And we took all these, and all these beautiful photos. And I remember just being at the end of it, and it was so vulnerable and beautiful. Like I feel like there were tears throughout. It was just such a beautiful experience. And at the end of it, I remember being like, I'm gonna go through and edit some, and I'm just gonna send you the ones that are like the winners, you know. And then I remember when they posted on their Instagram with some of these photos, the caption was, "Wait, do I love myself?" And like yeah. And I remember just being like, because they got to like see themselves, I think, in the way that they maybe like felt on the inside, but never it like matched, like it like matched up like this beauty, you know. And that was so special. And then I've had like girlfriends that have been like,
when you sent me those, like, because you shared one of those photos with me, I think, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is a gift. This is a real gift. And I think that's like, I don't know, there's like kind of an uptick in boudoir shoots and things like that. And I think it's really important. And it's like, it's like, for me, it reminds me of like the importance of like art and creating art. And when you do it like with yourself and your body, I think it's like a whole nother layer of just like, it can be just such a healing experience.
Yes. I just felt like so honored and kind of like getting to just work with people and trying to do like guide a little bit, but mostly like let them like tell me like where what's feeling good, but then give some guidance when I could tell if somebody's like struggling a little. Also just like making people laugh and doing that to try to get like the genuine face and body language. And but yeah, I've had girlfriends be like, I need like sexy pictures for like my sexy like dating profile, or to like send this guy that I'm interested in, and
or their partners.
Or partners. Oh yeah, and I've done some just for like, I want some sexy pictures to send to my partner. Yeah.
Yeah, you did that for one of my friends here. She was like, I haven't, because she just had 2 kids, and she had, you know what I mean? Like, getting reconnected with your sexuality after you've like had 2 kids, I've heard is like a thing, you know, like feeling sexy, feeling back in your body, feeling like yourself. And she was like kind of struggling with that just a little bit. And I remember us talking about like doing that so she could send some of these photos to her husband. I forget, was it? I think it was like their anniversary or something was coming up. I can't remember.
Wasn't he like long distance at that point? Yeah.
Yes, he was like out of town for a while and they hadn't seen each other. Yeah. And so there was like all of that going on, and you took these photos of her, and then we all like totally like jumped on. We're like, we're doing it too.
Yeah, and they were amazing. That was like the best day. It was like, and the lighting was also really good, I remember. But it was like it just, yeah, so it's kind of like turned into this thing that I think has been really powerful, and like you said, like this like gift where people can kind of feel really good about themselves. And I don't know, it feels really nice. And then we went into, you know, we've done photo shoots together more for like the podcast or like business related photo shoots, which has been really fun for me to do those. And we always joke about how like we feel like they always end up looking like engagement photo shoots, because we always like end up just like holding hands and hugging each other. So funny. Those ones have been really fun too, because for me, you know, there are times where I feel like I'm behind the camera a lot, and then it's nice to be like in front of it, because I still have my own like weird insecurities that I feel like I have to work through, you know. And like, and I really resonated with what you said about like not feeling like you look like you in the photos, you know. And
yes, I think we all have had that experience, right? Where you look at a photo and you're like, that's not what I look like. No, I look in the mirror, I know what I look like. Yeah. Because for me, even sometimes ones where people are like, oh, that's a great photo of you, I'm like, I don't like it because it doesn't look like look like me. I don't know.
I feel that.
Yeah. But wait, we got to talk about the one at the house again a little bit more.
Okay, I know I keep speeding forward. Let's
you're like
I'm like wait, back up.
No, it's good. But the one where it started out as a thing for this friend of mine. Yeah, her partner was like had been away for a while. She had just had 2 kids, and then me and a few other people kind of just like piggybacked on it, and we decided to make like this whole day of it, and we got like bunch of food, and like everybody brought like all their lingerie and clothes and even like kind of costumey things. We just like laid it all out on the bed, and just everybody just started like trying on different clothes. And I think you guys had some mimosas, and then I don't know, it was just so fun. Then we pulled out my motorcycle.
Oh, the
and, like
motorcycle.
That was so
Oh
fun.
my gosh. Do you remember Ben pulling that motorcycle on and then he like started modeling? Didn't he take his shirt off? It was so funny.
He pulled out the motorcycle for us to put it in the grass, which was like a little bit of like a situation because I was like, oh man, this is gonna like topple over. And he started cleaning it. He wasn't like doing anything at first. And so it was like kind of dusty and dirty. And so he was like, hold on. Because this is Ben. He's like Mr. Tidy. And so he's like, hold on. I started cleaning it. And we're all like, wait a second. If you're going to clean that motorcycle, you're going to have to take your shirt off.
Yeah. We like start catcalling him. It was, and then he played it up.
Yeah. And so he just like starts taking his shirt off and like spraying down the motorcycle and like getting real into it, which was, it was so fucking funny. It was those are some of my favorite videos, and we're all just like hooting and hollering at him. Yeah, it was so funny.
That was funny. And those motorcycle pictures are some of my favorite pictures.
They're
I think
so good.
Ever. There's a few of you that I'm just like, oh, like they're just so hot. And somebody like as I'm like taking the photos and I'm like starting to feel overwhelmed with like how hot the photos are. It's like that's like an intense feeling. I'm like, oh my god, this is like so good. And then we did those ones, we like the sun was coming through the trees in just the most beautiful way. And you had this like white fuzzy blanket that we laid out outside on your like couch out there. And you and two of your friends, you guys had like you guys had all like light whites and pinks on. And those photos, you look like angels.
Those are like, some of my favorite fucking photos I've ever
freaking pretty.
There's the light, and then it's because the tree was also casting like a
sun
shadow.
Doppled. Yeah,
and it was I don't know, it was like that was so fun. And then we took like some group photos together. It's so fun, and it's interesting because I know other people have wanted to join us and have had insecurities about joining us. And it's hard to communicate to people. I'm like, no, it's really like not about like knowing what to do or feeling like confident. It's like the process itself. And that's the important thing actually here, and why we wanted to talk about this is because it's not about like feeling confident beforehand. It's about like showing up and doing the thing. And then through like the end result, seeing this like beautiful art that you've created like with yourself. Yes. And then that giving you the confidence.
That gives
and so like I know I've had some, and that's the part that feels really good. And you're like, whoa. Yeah. And so I'm always trying to communicate that to people who like want to come but are like a little nervous, because we've had like a few friends who are like, I want to do that, but like I'm also like I could never do that.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't go into it feeling confident. Trust me. Because I go into it just being like, what the actual fuck am I doing? And then it's like, I don't know. It's so nice. And also I think it helps to have like the person who's like the photographer kind of pulling out the good ones. So you're not like
and you don't have to like weed through the garbage ones. Yeah.
The ones where
that
you're
is
like
helpful.
Where you're like, I don't know. Everybody's seen a photo of themselves. We're like, what the?
It's triggering. Yeah. You're like, oh no, I'm a garbage person. Yeah. All of us. So that is helpful when you get like a beautiful edited end product. It just is like, it feels really good, you know? And I think that whole process is like an experiment in kind of like loving yourself and giving yourself permission to just like enjoy your body and enjoy like dressing up. And I think I feel like we can label that as being, you could judge that so easily. But I think especially given how digital our world is today, like I think it's actually important to be able to understand yourself via photographs or videos, and be able to like understand and love your body. And I know for me, taking photographs like has helped me love my body, period. Like it just like taking photographs of myself, whether I'm like selfieing or doing a shoot or whatever, it's helped me appreciate and see my body as just it's a body and it's nice and it's here and it's nice to look at and it's good and I can just like accept it, you know? And that's been important for me.
I think that's important to call out because I don't think that's true for everyone. You know what I mean? I think that lots of people really struggle with taking pictures of themselves and just like tearing themselves apart. So the way that you do this is actually like really unique to you. I mean, and I'm sure other people like engage in it in this way. I know that's like one of the reasons people who do boudoir like shoots and stuff like really love what they do. Because I've known a few of those. Because it can be harmful, I think. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. That's what I love about what you do. It's different. It's definitely not, I don't know, it's done with like caringness. It's like, it's just like there's like care and consideration. And so I don't know, it's definitely changed the way I've viewed all of it. So
yeah. And there's also, I think, like a layer of like making room for like sensuality and the connection between that and your body, like in the photos, like especially with wearing something that makes you feel really good or sexy, or an outfit that you feel really like great in. There's something, because that's a sensual expression. How we decorate our body with clothes, it's like it's an expression of our like sensuality and sexuality, because we're like trying to feel good. A lot of us, most of us, are trying to feel good, and I think that's an important element, you know. And I actually just did like a really awesome photo shoot just a couple days ago for a dance company that I'm newly a part of. Shout out to 13th Hour Dance Company. But we did like this big promo photo shoot for an event, a production that we're having in the fall. And that was like kind of intimidating for me, as much as I've done all these shoots and being behind the camera and facilitating other people's like journeys through their discomfort and into like feeling more brave. There I was having all sorts of bubbles of insecurity and like not knowing what to do with my face and like feeling tense, you know. It doesn't like, I don't think that like, it doesn't just like go away. I think that that's there, and it's always something I kind of have to push through. And I ended up having a great time, and it was so fun. And I think it was good for me to I've been behind the camera for a lot these last like couple years, and I think that was like really nice to be in front of the camera and to practice all of that. Yeah, I think that was really good.
Well, this sounded like a whole nother level, this photo shoot. It was like different stations.
It was inspiring. It like inspired me for like things that we could do in the future. There was like a prop buffet and a costume buffet for all sorts of different like accessories and headdresses and like all sorts of stuff, jewelry. And
I know. I think that needs to be like one of the events we do, is we do these like Saturday like photo shoots. People can have some mimosas and like,
and they
have like a bunch of fruit and snacks.
Yeah. That would be so fun, actually.
I know.
Yeah, I got all like crafty feeling and inspired. I'm like, I need to make headdresses now.
Yes.
Yeah. It was so good. It was so good. Aww.
Yeah. I think this is important because for me, this whole journey of moving through getting comfortable with like pictures of myself has been kind of healing. And I don't think I would have on my own pursued this journey. Like, it's definitely like something that you brought into my life, and I'm really grateful for. And now I'm like always like pimping you out.
Yeah, whoring out my photography skills, my iPhone photography skills.
I'm like, listen, you're feeling insecure? I've got a friend, and she will make you feel amazing. Just come on over.
Like the reactions, like when it's everything. Like, oh my God, like that's me. Like those reactions, is everything. Like that feels so good. And there's like, we do so much like mindset work, and it's a lot of like inside stuff, like in our heads, in our beliefs. And there's something cool, I think, about this element of like our friendship and things that we like to do where it's outside. It's like but it's the same kind of like love and acceptance and appreciation for yourself, but it's on the outside, which is really nice because I think that both are important. Like both are important to do, you know?
Totally. Ugh, I love it. If you've ever thought about doing a little photo shoot for yourself, you should totally do it.
Give yourself permission.
Now I do it all the time. When I was in Italy, I was like, let's do a photo shoot in Venice. And
those were so beautiful.
Awesome. I hired her on an Airbnb experience. And I was like, look at how cool this photographer is. She was like 20. She was so young. And she was so talented.
Those were
found her on a little Airbnb
pictures.
experience.
Those were like your engagement
and the
pictures,
great thing,
right?
Yeah. I did one with my friend Stephanie and one with Ben. I did two. And the other thing that was really nice about it is I felt like I had all these amazing pictures from like Italy that I loved. And I didn't really feel like I needed to take very many pictures otherwise. So I could be really present. It was actually really nice to like to like get all these really amazing photos and feel very happy and content, like I've captured my trip in a really beautiful way. Yeah. And then just be like, I'm not gonna like put my phone away for the rest of like most of the rest of the time.
Love that though.
It was nice. Yes.
Yeah, that is really
great.
nice.
So, and it's so funny because like if you had told me I'd be like hiring a little photographer in Italy
for photo shoots,
for photo shoots, I would be like zero chance. There's so much. 20-year-old Sarah had just like no fucking clue what the future held. I'm so struggling right now. I'm like hiccuping and snacking, and I'm just calling it out because I'm pregnant and I'm dealing with morning sickness, and I'm over here like, did you hear me hiccup like 3 times? I'm like, just like random fucking hiccups.
You're doing so good.
What's wrong with me?
Much. You're just pregnant. You're just pregnant.
I'm just like, I feel like a baby. I'm just like,
you just can't control your bodily functions. It's okay.
I'm like Kermit the Frog.
Anyway.
I'm trying.
You're trying. You're here. This is fun.
I'm doing it.
Yay.
I love you too.
I love you
Go
so
do a
much.
photo shoot, people. It'll feel really good.
It'll feel good.
That was the point of this.
Yes.
To encourage more people to do it so they feel really good in their bodies.
I love it. Okay.
Until next time. I love you.
Love you.